WWE finally officially confirms Liv Morgan's injury and future. Women's Tag Team Championship decision hinted at. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Jennifer. Have a nice day. For the WWE family latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. WWE has now officially confirmed the future of Liv Morgan after her injury. Adam Pearce also hinted at what will happen with the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. Morgan is out for the foreseeable future with an injury. The star has been left hurt and may miss as many as 6 months, if not more, before the star returns. The reports state that the star is badly injured and may require surgery on her shoulder before she can return. The surgery has presumably not yet taken place, and fans will have to wait to find out when it will. Her injury was finally addressed on this week's episode of Raw, with Corey Graves confirming she was injured. He also announced that she will be out for several months. Liv, as every superstar does, did her best to protect herself upon impact. Unfortunately, watch Liv's elbow. It jammed her right shoulder. We understand that Liv Morgan is going to miss several months of action. WWE star Liv Morgan's recent injury has prompted WWE to change plans for her and her tag team partner, Raquel Rodriguez, and their women's tag team titles. As per PW Insider Elite, WWE may replace Morgan with new Judgment Day member Roxanne Perez, and Perez will team with Rodriguez going forward. A recent report revealed that WWE had no plans to vacate the titles, and instead had a replacement for Morgan in mind. On this week's Raw, commentator Corey Graves announced that Morgan will be out for several months following her separated shoulder, with reports indicating that she would require surgery. Some veteran stars like Tommy Dreamer and Rikishi have analyzed the injury, the former attributing it to overcompensating in one direction, while the latter blamed it on Morgan not taking the bump properly. This is not the first time that a WWE Women's Tag Team Champion will be replaced by another star, as fellow Hall of Famer Trish Stratus replaced Lita, while Morgan herself also suffered an injury in 2023, which forced her and Rodriguez to vacate the titles. More recently, Naomi took Jade Cargill's place in her partnership with Bianca Belair when they were tag team champions, which laid the foundations for Naomi's current heel run, as it was later revealed that she injured Cargill. Morgan's injury also, in a way, resulted in a match at Night of Champions to be postponed to another date, as Dominic Mysterio told Raw GM Adam Pearce that he too is injured like his on-screen partner. The Judgment Day Stars match with AJ Styles will now take place on another date. WWE has long been the juggernaut of professional wrestling, with the track record of huge events, like recording breaking gates at WrestleManias and SummerSlams, excellent 5-star matches, Hall of Fame talents, and unforgettable moments to prove it. The company has made huge moves on the business side of things, most recently moving its flagship show, WWE Raw, to Netflix in a historic effort, and before that, merging with UFC to create TKO Group Holdings. Sometimes it seems like WWE has never been off its game, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. It hasn't always been just major business deals and giant WrestleMania stages for WWE. From scandals to lawsuits to talent even jumping to the competition that the company won't even admit, there have been quite a few misses in WWE, especially in recent memory. WWE has almost fumbled the bag when it comes to various aspects of its storylines, like attempting to change up the WrestleMania 40 main event to the outrage of fans, to the booking of the legendary John Cena. There are plenty of mistakes that WWE would like fans to forget ever happened. Things like airing specials during tragedies before they had details, to ending the most historic streak in wrestling history, to a more simple fact of not pushing fan favorites. WWE has had plenty of swings and misses in its history. WWE has seen some excellent eras of wrestling throughout its history, from the beloved Attitude Era to beginnings of Rock and Wrestling, to the Ruthless Aggression Era, to what is known now as the Netflix Era, under the leadership of Paul Triple H Levesque. It's the seemingly never-ending callbacks to those previous eras, especially that of the Attitude Era, that are mistakes WWE continues to make over and over. It's often like WWE and its fans are addicted to nostalgia, and there are examples of that running rampant throughout the company in its recent history. One of the biggest examples of the nostalgia addiction is WWE's shows in Saudi Arabia. WWE brings in old-school veteran talents, many of whom allegedly receive big paydays for the events. This brought about one of WWE's biggest mistakes when it comes to matches in recent memory: Shawn Michaels and Triple H versus The Undertaker and Kane. A bout that even Michaels and Undertaker regret having, as both men were well past their prime and delivered a subpar match. Michaels said he regretted coming out of retirement for the match. An even more recent example is Goldberg teasing one final match. Back in November 2024, Goldberg announced he would be having a retirement match a month after going face-to-face with Gunther at the Bad Blood Premium Live event from his home state of Georgia. As of this writing, there are no concrete plans yet for the Hall of Famer's final match. But it's yet another example of WWE making the mistake of dipping into the nostalgia well. One of WWE's biggest mistakes in recent memory was attempting to switch up the main event of WrestleMania 40 after fan favorite Cody Rhodes had won the Royal Rumble for the second year in a row. Following a segment where Rhodes, seemingly uncomfortable but fighting through it, gave up on challenging Roman Reigns on the grandest stage of them all, and instead brought out Reigns' cousin Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, fans revolted both online and in the crowd of live WWE shows. Even other wrestlers, both baby faces and heels within the company, took to social media to get behind Rhodes. Very quickly, "We Want Cody" was a worldwide trend, and WWE had to do their best to walk back what they had mistakenly started. At a media event in Las Vegas ahead of WrestleMania, The Rock and Rhodes got into an angle of their own that would culminate in a WrestleMania Night 1 main event tag team match involving Reigns and Seth Rollins. The Rock would get the pin on Rhodes to set up the Night 2 angle of a Bloodline Rules match. But Rhodes finished his story and won the undisputed WWE Universal Championship from Reigns to end WrestleMania weekend. Instead of letting news around the mistake quiet down after the WWE Raw after WrestleMania, where The Rock told Rhodes their story was just beginning, WWE ended their potential story on the Raw Netflix debut. Rock politely acknowledged Rhodes in the crowd during the episode, and they shared a drink backstage while The Rock was live on his Instagram page. Fans were once again confused, and the glaring mistakes at WrestleMania 40 was highlighted once again. One of the biggest mistakes that WWE has ever made, in the eyes of the fans at least, is the change to the PG era of television following the company's beloved Attitude Era. WWE had been slowly transitioning to more family-friendly content, but the move was accelerated following the Benoit murder-suicide in 2007. WWE needed to appeal to sponsors, so the company began to transition away from TV-14 content. WWE announced the move to a PG rating on July 22, 2008, though it took a few years for fans to really become outraged over the lack of Attitude Era-esque storylines. Despite WWE's business revenue increasing, nearly tripling due to various corporate partnerships, it also occurred during a time of decreased ratings. WWE considers the PG era to have lasted through 2014 into what the company calls the reality era, but the content of its programming remains rated PG-TV. The discourse surrounding a potential change back to TV-14 has been around for years now, beginning in 2022, when it was rumored WWE Raw would become more edgy at the behest of the USA Network. Rumors over the Red Brand's rating began to swirl again before its January 2025 move to Netflix, when a TV-14 rating for the show was used as a placeholder, but Raw continues to be branded as PG on the streaming service. Rumors of WWE NXT changing to TV-14 for its debut on the CW were also circulated back in October 2024, but also proved to be false. The invasion was one of WWE's most egregious mistakes, as it was supposed to be a huge overarching angle after the fall of WCW to WWE in the ratings, but it was nothing like anyone within the company or any fan watching had envisioned. The invasion might be the single biggest missed opportunity for WWE ever, as no new stars were made and WWE waited too long to start the angle after Shane McMahon bought WCW. The final Nitro and Shane's purchase occurred on March 26, 2001, and the invasion didn't happen until that summer. It was a rather slow rollout, with lesser-tier WCW guys attacking smaller-level WWE stars. WCW main stars, like Hulk Hogan, Sting, and Goldberg, didn't participate in the angle, like fans wanted to see, and came into the company much later. The WCW stars who did make the immediate jump were turned heel to make the fans turn against them. The entire invasion focused around Vince McMahon's ego and the storyline rivalry within the family. WWE also made the mistake of having the wrong guys defect to the Alliance, or Team WCW-ECW, like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Austin's defection made no sense, as he was best known for being a WWE guy. Austin hated Vince in the company's most popular storyline, but he had been fired from WCW years prior, so the decision was quite illogical. There were so aspects that were mishandled within what had the potential to be the biggest story in wrestling history that it will go down as one of WWE's biggest mistakes. All WWE fans want their favorite star pushed to the moon, and of course, it's impossible for the company to put everyone in a favorable spot. But sometimes, the massive fan support behind one star is too much to ignore. But oftentimes, WWE does just that, and it's a huge mistake. The biggest example of that is Daniel Bryan and the Yes It's movement. Fans of Bryan's began the movement in 2014 when they became frustrated that their favorite star wasn't getting the opportunities they felt he deserved. The movement caught steam after the Royal Rumble, which was won by a returning Batista, and Bryan wasn't even in the match. Fans would get on their feet and pump their fingers in the air, screaming yes in support whenever Bryan took to the ring. He would go on to get various opportunities in WWE, but some fans felt like it was never enough for the American Dragon.